So, y'all probably won't believe this, but I literally did all of this recording and I accidentally deleted it. Now I have to do it all over again. Which, to be fair, I'm kind of glad I have to because I'm gonna be honest with you. My commentary was terrible. So I guess it is a blessing in disguise, right? Blessing in disguise. Sheesh. Okay, I'm gonna have to restart everything, which sucks, but maybe I could make it sound better. So I guess this is a good thing, right? Especially for y'all, especially if y'all wanna actually understand what I'm saying. But yeah, like I was gonna say, as the video implies, it's you know a Spider-Man 2 review, right? I'm gonna talk about basically everything, and then I might say more, like what I want in Spider-Man 3. So yeah, look forward to that at the end of the review, of course. But let's get into it. Um, is Spider-Man 2 the best superhero game? Now, I think it could be, but I feel like I would love to get more into this, but like of course, like with the rushing, the ending, the third act, especially just the third act in general. Um, a lot of things they could have done a little bit better. I just think the rushing is they're like the biggest problem they did, honestly, with the third act. I don't know why they did that. Like, we're getting a generational game, and they want to rush the ending, especially the ending and stuff. Like, dude, Sony, please stop doing that. I don't care if it takes you another year to make it. Stop rushing video games. Like, I know I'm going on a little rant, but like, if you need to rush a video game just to get some money, bro, no, stop. I don't even think that was the reason why they rushed it. They just rushed it because like, oh, we wanted the game to come out this day. No, if if you're not fully ready and you want to do more, do more. Like, just that them rushing it kind of hurt the game. I'm gonna be honest with you. But sorry for the little rant. Let's go into the review. Uh, the game is good. I really like the game. I think it's the best Spider-Man game ever, without a doubt. Um, I do like the dual protagonist between Miles and Peter. I think they did it well with their own like combat system. Not even combat system. They play the same, like fighting with square, mashing the button square square. But the abilities, of course, are different. Um, I wish there was more like in the combat scenarios, like when you're mashing the buttons. I think there is a difference between how they fight, but like there isn't a big difference where I notice. I guess I'm not looking at it correctly, but you know what I'm talking about. I do like it. I think throughout the story, there's tend to be a problem because like there's a lot of Peter's story where we see him struggling and with the characters around him not like him not being there for them, and then you have Miles' story where uh, he's jeez, dude, this is one of the problems. Like Miles' story throughout this game was kind of like left under the rug a bit. You could, if you like look deeper in it, of course you could see it like with Haley, with his friends, his mother, him not wanting to like him not knowing him not knowing himself, because he has to do a college essay about himself and all that. So definitely, I don't know. Especially, it kind of goes under the radar, especially throughout the game, which sucks. But I guess that's just kind of how it happened, really. Um, yep, of course, I did beat the game, and okay, let me just say this: I platinumed the game. All right, very quick platinum. I did it in like 22 hours, probably less if I actually just played the game faster, I guess, or not fast, but you know what I mean. Like, there's some moments where I just swung around, did some fun stuff, but honestly, realistically, I could probably beat it in like 20 hours, and that's honestly a big problem. I know that's like the biggest problem with this game is the pacing and how small it is compared to the first game. Because with the first game, not small, but like with the first game, if you wanted to platinum it, I think it probably took you like 30 hours. I think, if I remember correctly. I know it took me a little longer. The game felt longer to platinum than Spider-Man 2, which doesn't make it better. I'm just saying, I think I wish the game was a bit bigger in a way, even though I think it's good off the rip. I think what they did in that, honestly, short span of time is really good. But yeah, let's talk about what this game does good, like very good. And then let's talk about where it kind of fumbles, you know what I mean? Throughout what I'm talking about, I think you can tell what I fumbled with. I guess let's talk about the gameplay. You know, for starters, I think like every game needs a good gameplay features, right? Combat feels faster. It feels good. I guess it feels more aggressive, which it does. Like as you see in the gameplay right here, everything just feels powerful compared to like the other games. I guess with the Venom, with the Venom powers of Miles Morales, those did feel strong, of course. Uh, but with this game, of course, he's more powerful, right? Also, speaking of powers, I'm being honest with you. Miles's invisibility is like not useful at all. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I barely use it. The only time I use it is when I'm like invisible, like going walking around them. That's literally it. I barely use the invisibility. I feel like they need to do something with the invisibility, make it useful. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what they could do with it, but they definitely need to add something to it to make it better. But sorry about that. The symbiote abilities for Peter, especially when he first gets him, makes him bro. Like throughout the game, he feels like very weak because he just has nothing going on for him. And with Miles, he has Venom powers, and it just makes him feel stronger than Peter at the beginning. And then once Peter gets his symbiote, he's a lot powerful. He's like way more powerful, and it just feels fun playing him again. You know. Um, which they definitely meant to do that. They kind of weaken Peter at the beginning, which not really weaken him because he's fighting strong opponents. Um, Now I think for plot they made Peter feel like he couldn't do anything. Like with the Sandman fight, Peter was getting manhandled like for most of it. Even though Peter's defeated Sandman again, like I don't understand how Peter has defeated him first, especially with probably a weaker Peter. Like Peter's 26 in this game. He's literally peak adult. Like him getting older, especially, dude, he has powers, bro. Him getting like slightly older, especially in his like peak years, should make him more powerful. I don't know how he's like not. I'm sorry, but of course they did that for plot. So when we get the symbiote, we could say like, "Oh my, Peter feels strong." You know what I mean? Um, I guess since we're talking about powers and abilities, throughout the game, Miles his Venom gets evolved, like it gets stronger basically. Um, Now I don't know how to explain it, but like they felt a little less fun in my opinion. Like with the other powers, like with the Venom Smash, I think it's called, that felt fun. It felt like I was actually smashing. I don't know how to explain it, but like I don't know. His evolved Venom powers definitely are fun and they're very powerful. But I don't know. They're very fun and stuff. So that's all you kind of need to know. Of course, they have ability cooldowns, you know, like when you use your ability, so that makes sense. I think every game has that, so there's no need to look at that. Um, like with the first game, even the first game, because with Miles Morales, he still had powers. It felt more button smashy, right? Of course, but with this game, you could use your abilities, and it was just fun, you know. You could actually use your abilities. You don't have to mash your button 24/7. And since you have multiple abilities, you could do so much with it. You could add variety and stuff. And there's different abilities of the game you could use. So this game, the combat is definitely a lot better in my opinion. That's not my opinion. That's just objective. This is objectively true. Jeez. But the combat doesn't matter if the swinging doesn't feel good, right? So, traversal time. Web wings are awesome, honestly. I really love how they added web wings, especially with the wind tunnels. Like the wind tunnels add a lot of variety, especially with traversal variety, with like speed and stuff. Because with this game, the swinging did. I think they said something about like 1.6 or 1.8 times faster. Now, I know this is a bit greedy, but they need to make it even faster. I'm sorry, like. I think they should. They definitely should. But that's just me, though. The wind tunnels, of course. The wings suit. The web wings. Sheesh. Definitely make you feel faster. I think I'm about to hit a wind tunnel there. Nope, I'm not. Never mind. But yeah, this game, the traversal is very fun. They added so much with it. That's definitely one of the best parts of the game is the traversal. Um, Speaking of like traversal, oh my, like am I like this is my first review, okay, guys? I'm sorry. I'm maybe my words aren't like as you know polished, but since we're talking about wingsuit and swinging, the slingshot launch mechanic is very cool. I really like it. It's actually probably one of my favorite uh, traversal like things you could do to like get speed and stuff. Definitely one of the best parts in my opinion with the the traversal and stuff. Um, I mean, I think this kind of makes sense. The movement is a lot smoother than the other games. City feels more alive, especially with the addition of Brooklyn and Queens. I love that addition, by the way. People were complaining about the game not having a bigger map or something. Not bigger map, but like they just didn't like the map for some reason when this game first came out, and I don't know how they could say that. Like the Queens and Brooklyn adds so much, especially with the culture. That was very fun. Uh, let's get to the what makes a game like this good. Boss fights. There was definitely not a lot of boss fights compared to like Spider-Man 1, of course, because you have the Sinister Six. Both of this game is really two big bads, which I'll get to that when I talk about the story. But the boss fights, there's definitely a lot of cinematic moments. The multi-phase fights, like with the boss fights, they kind of feel tedious in a way, but they're still fun, right? I was playing on the hardest difficulty, so maybe it felt tedious to me. Especially if I mess up once, I get like 40 health off of me, and so yeah, it's probably just a me problem. Uh, I mean, if you look throughout the game, some of the fights are like some of the best moments in video game history. Like, not video game history, but like superhero video game history, basically. Which definitely adds a lot to this game, because this game is one of the best superhero games ever. It would be the best if they didn't ruin the third act. But they didn't ruin it, but they just, I'll get to it, right? Of course. Story time. In my opinion, the story, like the emotional feel was unexpected. Like it was more emotional than expected, because with the first game, with Mary, Aunt May, she died, right? And it felt like you were along the journey with Peter. Of course you were, right? And so, I don't know how to explain it, but like her dying, you felt useless at that moment. You felt like you didn't do enough, kind of like what Peter felt, especially throughout this game. Because that's kind of one of the reasons why Peter was struggling. But and getting to that, the story definitely focused on Peter struggling with the responsibility, especially with the loss of Aunt May, the one that kept him together. Of course, he got over that a little bit. He didn't actually. I don't even think he really got over it. I think he still feels the responsibility of her death, which makes sense, right? And with Miles, he feels more confident than the other games. Of course, with the first game, he wasn't really a Spider-Man. He was just getting started. And then with what do you call it? With Miles Morales, his first time actually doing this. The city alone, like fighting the city, the bosses and villains and stuff. And more with the story, the symbiote arc was definitely fun. Seeing Peter lose himself throughout the symbiote arc was definitely it was definitely very cool in my opinion. I wish we see more of that, like maybe without the symbiote, like for Peter's mindset, like he loses himself, not losing himself, but like I don't know, because by the end of the game, it doesn't really feel like he's gonna ever have that feeling again. But he probably will in the next game, honestly, when something bad happens. Now the boss fights is what we're talking about. The story boss fights. Craven felt very strong. I think he's always been one of Peter's strong villains, right? But he felt like almost too strong. It felt like I know he had a lot of intel on everybody, so he kind of knew how they played, right? How they fought. So for I don't know, like him killing all of the Sinister Six besides like Doc Ock and maybe some others. I don't remember. I know he killed Vulture, he killed Scorpion, and those are the kind of the ones I can give you off the rip, like who he killed. I feel like him killing them just like, and we didn't see any of that gameplay by the way. Like there was nothing on that. He just boom, he killed them. Like come on, dude. I definitely think they should look more into that. Um, and of course, with like the Raven versus Spider-Man, there wasn't much of that at all. Like, of course, with the symbiote, Spider-Man's manhandling him. But without the symbiote, there wasn't much Peter could do because every single time Peter and Craven were even in their vicinity, Peter had to save people. So him getting stabbed by Craven wasn't really a like, oh no, how did Craven stab him? Doesn't Peter have spider tingles, whatever you call it, spider sense? But I mean, I think if I remember correctly, he was trying to get Harry and MJ out of the place or something, and then I don't really remember too much because it was like beginning, like the middle of the game, right? Venom, man, oh Venom. He was definitely intimidating as Venom is, and he was well represent. He was very presented as Venom. I definitely like that what they did with Venom. Now it kind of sucks that it was Harry who was Venom, because for some reason what it looks like they're trying to add a lot of emotional like stuff to it to keep the feel of oh we're sad yay right, not the feel of oh that was a chaotic fight, I can't wait to fight him again, you know what I mean. Now I do kind of wish they, I don't know, because like after the Venom fight, Venom is gone. Like the symbiote of Venom is gone, the black symbiote. So that kind of like begs the question: like, we're not gonna see Venom no more. Like, bro. Of course, we're gonna see other symbiotes later in the game, or in the third game. Which, like, I think I already told you, I'm gonna give my opinion on what's gonna happen. Maybe, or what I want to happen. So, look forward to that at the end of the game. Uh, Now, of course, with the story, this is one of the biggest issues with the game. The pacing at the third act. Like the first and second act, it went well, you know. I think it was very good paced. Uh, like the pacing was good for those acts. But with the third act, the final act, um, the pacing sped up a lot. Especially, oh man, losing the symbiote and then you're getting a new one and then uh, Craven and Venom fights, and then Craven dies, and then you fight Venom. Like it just happened so quickly, dude. I won't lie to you. And especially with the final stretch, it felt rushed. I feel like we could have got a little bit more out of it. And as y'all saw in the first couple minutes, I think I was ranting on about them rushing, and they shouldn't do that. You know, take a couple months to not rush it, right? You know, like, that's their job. That's what they should be doing. Give us the best experience possible. If we could feel that's rushed, then you definitely rushed it. I'm sorry. If it feels like it's rushed, you rushed it. I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer, right? Um, now, them rushing the final act doesn't mean the game was terrible. Doesn't mean the game ended like slop. No, the game is very much the best Spider-Man game and one of the best superhero games. And if they didn't rush it and they actually like got it out like with good pacing, I think the game could have been the best superhero game. And I definitely think with Spider-Man 3, it could easily be that if they just perfect the pacing, to perfect the characters, to perfect what they're doing, right? I think Spider-Man 3 will be the greatest super game of all time if they do what they need to do, right? Spider-Man 2 could have been that, but, you know. Going on to the side content open world. I know I was talking a bit about this. Of course, like with the traversal kind of counts with that. The Brooklyn and Queens, right? But I will say a lot of the side missions are story driven. Like they're really like compared to the first game, this game has a lot of side missions that are very story driven. Like with Miles and his college, Miles with his like helping in the museum, uh, a lot of that, and then Peter with the flame missions, uh, and just I don't know, like a lot of the side missions didn't feel like it was repetitive. It didn't feel like it was unnecessary. It was more like okay, this could add something in the next game, or it just like added a lot of I don't know, a lot of character, to like the regular NPCs, right? Which was fun. Um, some of them are generally emotional, honestly, especially with Howard. Oh man, dude, that was definitely emotional. I really loved that mission. Um, Speaking of open world, Brooklyn and Queens, that was such a good. I love how they added it, the culture in those places, and just the difference of that than the main city. I think it's just Manhattan, right? Or is it? It's Manhattan, right? Well, the place we are in, right? I love how it's just like basically just regular houses, right? I mean, they are houses, so I don't know what I'm talking about. It's just straight skyscrapers every time we go. In Spider-Man 3, uh, they they could add they could add more to the map. Like if they don't add anything else, I think I'm fine with that. But of course, they will add something, right? Like add a little bit more. I think that just makes sense. Um, it definitely makes sense, right? Why they should add something more, right? Um, I will say the random crime, like the crimes, beginning to like middle, the crimes were just okay. We're facing, robberies. We're facing abductions. But at the end of the game, most of the crimes you see are just symbiote crimes. And with symbiotes, they're very repetitive in my opinion. Like since they take a lot hard, they're a lot harder to hit, like take down. It kind of is like, oh, this is gonna be like so long. It's gonna be boring and all that, right? So it just adds a lot of repetitiveness with the symbiote fights, which they're so fun, but they're just like, I have to do it. Um, but yeah, that's like the side content, open world. Uh, with some of that side content, I will talk at the end with it, of course. Um, I know this doesn't really. This does talk a little bit about the game, right? The graphics. I think the graphics in this game are amazing. Like, there's so many pictures I have of the game, and it just looks so good. Man, I don't know. I think the graphics in this game definitely are a notch up on compared to the other games, without a doubt. Um, all right, let's look at the pros and cons. I'll just go quickly through it. The pros: best traversal in any Spider game, without a doubt. Emotional story, of course. Dual protagonist gameplay, that's a pro, right? Uh, Amazing presentation, sure. Top tier boss fights, of course. And then the cons are, of course, third act pacing feels rushed. Some side content repetitive, with like the crimes and honestly a lot of like right there, the green thing on your screen, the Mysterio stuff. That was kind of repetitive in my opinion, but oh well. Stealth sections are basic. I know I didn't talk about that, but the stealth sections suck. And like I was saying, they need to fix the invisibility. I don't know if I said it in this clip because I deleted it in the last clip, but I was saying something about invisibility needs a whole rework. I'm sorry, it's just so useless in my opinion. Uh, and honestly, as much as I love this game and the ending and stuff, there should be a lot more post-game content. There's really no post-game content. The only post-game content you have is just side missions that you didn't do. But a lot of the side missions you could have done throughout the story. And if you did all that throughout the story, and then boom, you do the story, you finish the story. You have nothing to do after that. So a lot of post-game content is just not there. Which, right? Uh, okay, now I guess the closing, the conclusion. Let's see. Spider-Man 2 improves improves on basically everything the first game and then Miles Morales has. Um, it's not like a perfect game, of course not, right? I don't think most games aren't perfect. Let's be real here, and in the games you call perfect aren't perfect, right? Um, since it's not perfect, it's still one of the best, easily one of the best super games of all time. You cannot deny that. And for those who are watching this because you love the first game, should you play this game? Absolutely, bro. You have to. It's on PlayStation Plus Extra right now, so You could play it basically for free, but it's like $16 a month. But I think PlayStation Plus Extra is worth it compared to Xbox Game Pass. Come on now, that's a shit show. Excuse my language. I'm sorry. Um, uh, my personal rating. You know, when I was playing the game, doing the side quests after I beat the story, seeing like some of like the cool side quests that's gonna add to the next game, I wanted more. Like that kind of goes with the post game completion stuff. Like the content, there should be more. I wanted more to this game. Just flying around the game with the beautiful sunset, the beautiful like sun and whatnot, the beautiful graphics. Just wanted more. I don't know why. I just wanted more. You know? And even then, I still give it like a 9 out of 10. I really do. I think it's definitely a 9 out of 10. I do wish there was more, and I hope there's more, but there won't be more. But Spider-Man 3 will definitely add so much to it, and I can't wait. Now, should I just... That's kind of my review of Spider-Man 2. I don't know if I should continue on with Spider-Man 3, what I want. I'll think about it real quick, but if not, I'll see y'all in the next video, and hopefully, you know, I'll have some more videos coming out. I might do more reviews. If y'all enjoy this one, tell me games I should review, and yeah, I might review Expedition 33 because I already beat it, and I definitely should review it, right? Ooh, that's the next game without a doubt. Alright, I'll catch y'all later. Bye-bye.